I thought today's most interesting game was the game between Duda and Vidit. Obviously, both players put up an incredibly tough fight, and all the props to both of them for making it so far in the World Cup. However, Duda did take home the win today after a very tense fight in which I think some 20 moves of Spanish theory was played. And he does move on to the semi-finals, which will actually be Poland's first ever time in the semis at the World Cup. So huge congratulations to both Duda and Vidit for playing an absolute amazing game today. I hope you enjoy this game review. Okay. A6, just this prof from my university. Bishop A4, knight at F6. Hope you're doing well, Vila. Hope you're enjoying home. Okay, castle b5, this is Spanish. Bishop b3, bishop c5, this is Spanish I play. Oh, this is the Spanish that I prepared against Vaishali. Who is Jordan Dunn? I'm guessing that's some Victoria's Secret model because it's Vila. It's gonna be some Victoria's Secret model. I know. Weird flex. Okay, so d4, bishop b6. This is like the most normal line of the Archangel. You've heard it both ways. I've been pronouncing it both ways. So yeah, this game was definitely theory for a million moves, but this is the game that I was telling you guys about. Oh my god, wait, this is exactly the line. Do you guys not remember this? Like, my opponent played bishop e3 in the line when I was playing against Vaishali, and I was telling you guys about this h3 line, and how this line is... Oh my god, they played it! Oh my god, this is literally the line I was telling you guys about! Like... Oh, they didn't go bishop takes c. Oh, they didn't go bishop. Oh, sorry, it's d takes c4, knight takes c2. Here, here takes. Oh, they didn't play c takes b7. So c takes b7 is the Grishka-Giri line that went something like this. Yeah. Oh wait, that wouldn't work because of queen to a4. I'm trying to remember now. Is it bishop d5, queen e4 are both options, I think. So. So Koryakin and Roll Shanklin. It's pretty cool. We lost yesterday as usual, but this line is theory. I know this theory. It's like the most trendy line currently. That's so cool. Okay, so bishop takes f2. I mean, this is new. This is new. Oh yeah, I know theory up to here. So I've seen people play only c takes b7. Okay, now I have to pull up my own game against Vaishali because now it feels like nobody's believing me. One blow from caving in. Do you ever feel already parodied? See them the screens, but no one seems to hear a thing. Do you know that there's... Alright, so here is a game I played against Vaishali. Third time. It's literally the same line, yeah? Until here. She should have played h3, but she played bishop e3 instead. Yeah, I taught Duda this line. Exactly. So it was pretty much, it was gonna be this. I just needed her to play bishop e3, and I knew how to play every single move after that. That's all I needed. Unfortunately, she didn't fall into my prep. I would have known all of this. I'm still so salty about that game. If only I prepared a little bit more. Yeah, they copied my line actually, except I copied it from Grishka-Giri, so. Make them one less boss. Okay, king to g1, queen to f6. Alright, so currently there is an exchange. What is going on in this game? Oh my god. Yeah, well, I mean, that's very normal for this level. Very normal. All the pawns went brr. Okay, yeah, it's good that Duda is following my streams. Actually, all of this, all planned out, Duda is just following my game. Of course, obviously. I'm just that good of a chess player. But, okay, so after knight takes e5. Okay, before knight takes e5, what's going on? So we're up 4 pawns for the exchange. Okay. But our king's in the middle of the board. So after knight takes e5, you obviously can't take this knight because this queen takes f7. So after bishop takes g2, it baits white to play this, after which there's queen to h4, king gear, queen here, I guess, and then, I mean, somehow you'll be able to take this knight, right? Oh, and then you're able to do this thing where you like where you eventually end up defending your pawn, and then you'll be able to take the knight with the queen. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Is there a reason why black has a castle? Yeah, black hasn't had a time to castle. He's been so busy with doing other stuff. Okay, so king to g1. Alright, not falling to that. You play queen to f6 instead, just blocking this, trying to go for the queen trade. Because I think the amount of pawns you have will probably be beneficial for you. Okay, so knight takes f7, queen takes f2, king takes. Now your rook and bishop are both hanging. So once again, black is still up the exchange. After rook to f8, king takes g2, rook takes f7. Because now you have... Alright, so if you save the bishop, obviously, you just be down way too much material, right? So you save the rook. So now you have 3 pawns for a knight. 2 of which are pass pawns. Now, theoretically speaking, I would say that this is approximately equal, theoretically. Now, we all know that humans don't play exactly like engines, so the actual result will probably be not, you know, a draw. Because it's such a big imbalance, right? This goes back to what we were talking about with imbalances. This is very much just kind of a seesaw. So you definitely wouldn't want to play into this as black, but that's just you. I think playing to this as black gives you chances to win because it's not balanced. So whoever plays this position better is probably going to win. Now, you can say that about any position, but this is especially true for higher level games where things are just super unpredictable. Because otherwise, if you play like the same stuff over and over again, it'll probably just be a draw. White is up 0.5, but 0.5 is not a lot, right? Hey Steve, thank you so much for the prime, thank you. I sound so different analyzing games than usual. Yeah, it's because most of the time I just play dumb. No, I don't actually. I'm just dumb in general. But when I analyze, I actually know what's going on. Like this is what I grew up doing. Anyways, okay, so king to f6, king to f3, g6, knight to e4. Also, this is my favorite opening. Okay, like the Spanish is my home. I have made a home in the Spanish. King g7. I mean, white is slowly starting to get more space. I think that this position is just pretty hard for black to handle properly, because if white starts becoming more and more active, then that just means that, you know, it'll be white's win, because black has to start pushing these pawns up slowly. Alright, so g5. Of course, pushing the pawn up is what we want to do, but unfortunately they also do become a little bit weaker because it becomes a little bit harder to defend, right? So black didn't really make like one strict mistake. If you haven't seen my content before, you should really go look at the principle of 2 weaknesses, which is also called the principle of the 2 balls. But anyways, the principle of 2 weaknesses suggests that if you have, for anybody to win in a singular in any game, you need your opponent to have 2 weaknesses, or you need to have 2 advantages. So that is how you win in chess. Currently, the material is still even, right? Material is still even, so that's technically not an advantage, but the issue becomes when you're playing a knight versus 3 pawns is that the more you push your pawns up the board, they become weaker. But you also need to kind of push your pawns up the board if you're trying to promote them. So chess is really difficult. Chess is super difficult. Yeah, we all know 2 balls is a weakness. Exactly, Yiling. This is the principle. This is why I came up with the principle of 2 balls. But anyways, after g5, knight to b4, rook to e2, king to h1. You can see how black just has too many weaknesses to defend, so he's gonna lose the a6 pawn at some point. Well, probably soon. So actually white decides to protect a5. I think white could have just considered taking, but he's probably a little bit afraid of something like rook to a2, but then after rook takes g5, king to f6, there's always rook takes b5, which defends. So principle of two weaknesses, right? Black has simply too many weaknesses. His rook is unable to protect all these pawns because his opponent actually has the knight, which can, you know, and a rook. So that's the point. That's the part where this becomes a little bit problematic. All right, b4. Knight takes b4, c takes b4. Ooh, that's a good move. Okay, I mean that's a really good move. So black is just trying to create a pass pawn, right? If you have pawns, you probably want to push them, create pass pawns. Now he's not pushing these because the king is directly in front of them, so that's pretty much like impossible to promote. So now he's gonna push the pawns on the other side of the board. Unfortunately, when he does that, after knight takes b4, c takes b4, a6, b takes c3, a7, this pawn is just going brr. And after c2, queen, rook to b1, you might be like, oh, but if he takes, then I get a queen and this is winning. Yes, but your opponent also doesn't have to take and can simply play king to g2. Now, you do promote. You actually do get another queen, right? With c1, you do get another queen. But the problem here is that this king is so weak. And you're promoting with one tempo slower than white because white has the first move now after promotion. So rook to a7, king to f6. Your king is super weak. Queen f8. No worries, Pain Chest, no worries. Yo, thank you, Visage, for the gifted sub. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Don't worry. You guys don't suck at chess and you don't have a girlfriend. It's fine. Like it's okay. I don't have one either, and I still suck at chess. So we're in the same boat here, chat. We're all here together. So yeah, I mean, you know, open king. What do? You just try to checkmate it. So king to e5, king to e7, king to d5, queen to f3. King c5, rook c7, king b4, queen b7. I mean, this is the classic ladder mate. It doesn't even bother taking the queen. Well, I mean, actually, if you take the queen, it's not that clear. So this will be checkmate. But it just goes to show how, like, this endgame was close, but it just wasn't close enough for Vidit to get the draw. Which, once again, just goes back to what I'm talking about, right? If you don't know how to play positions where you're down material, it's probably a good idea to just not go into positions where you're down on material, because then you'll end up in situations like this. This goes back to all of the games we talked about during our World Cup review, about all the lovely people who decided to just sacrifice in exchange for pretty much no reason and then just didn't know how to handle the position. Now, I'm not criticizing them for their play. What I'm saying is that it gets really difficult to handle these positions, because theoretically, these are fine. These positions should be roughly equal. They should be able to draw. But at the end of the day, you know, we're still human. And yeah, just if you don't know how to play these kind of positions, probably just better to not go into them. But you know, that's not to say that like Duda didn't do a really good job, I think, of preparing queen takes f2. So as I've aforementioned, even in my own preparation, right, I had prepared c takes b7. So queen takes f2 being a new line is kind of cool. Now, after bishop takes c6, knight takes e5, I'm assuming most of this was prepared. It just becomes a question of whether or not Vidit was confident that he'd be able to draw that endgame. That's like the only question I have for him. But otherwise, I mean, it was just a very difficult endgame to handle after that. It's just a very big imbalance, and if you don't play it perfectly, you're probably going to lose. Like, your a pawn is weak. Principle of two weak balls, principle of two weaknesses, right? Check out my previous YouTube videos for that. So, overall, Duda played a really good game. Good preparation, good endgame technique, really good stuff. Yeah. If you guys haven't already, make sure you're clicking that thumbs up button as well as subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching.